And greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Apptrepreneur Show. This is your daily dose or near daily dose of app, tech, and even a little bit of entertainment here and there. I am your host, Kevin, the Apptrepreneur, and it is an honor and a privilege to be hosting as it is every day. And we have a lot of fun here. And hey, we've already got Tommy in the house. Hello, Tommy. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Well, chat, podcast, whatever you want to call it. Now then. For those of you who have never seen the show, just a quick little refresher what this is. This is the Apptrepreneur Show. That means it is long, it has got a bunch of topics, and with the exception of the main topic, which you still have to watch this video to watch, we will be cutting up all the individual topics to release in separate videos tomorrow. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat box. We always spend time after each show to talk with you, the viewers. Now, before we get too far into this, now I'm getting a notification that the audio might not be what it is. So hey, if there is a problem with the audio, let me know so that we can try to fix that. But before we go too much farther, I do need to bring this up because there is another YouTuber who, is working during the pandemic, and hey, you know what? Good on him for trying to do what he can to survive. But one of the things he said fairly recently is that, smoking in light of the COVID-19 situation might actually help kill the virus in your lungs, which, I thought that was like a crazy statement to make. And just to let that person know, just because I care so much I'm not going to mention who it is, but you might be able to figure it out, no, apparently smoking will actually increase your risks with COVID-19. In fact, here's the statistic, the scary statistic. Researchers found 32% of the total study population were medically vulnerable for severe COVID-19. However, when the group of participants who smoked cigarettes or e-cigarettes, this is e-cigarettes as well, were taken out of the analysis, the medically vulnerable percentage decreased by half to 16%. So, the lesson for this is if you smoke, no, it will not reduce your chances of getting COVID-19. In fact, it might become more severe, so don't do it. Also, as a little side announcement before we get talking about the main topics, I have a comic book blog. It's just something I've been doing for fun, but if anyone wants like some, occasional writings of the comic book industry and anime and stuff like that, feel free to go to yourcomicbookguide.com. What's really going to be fun is that if you go to like page 20, this blog's been around for a long, long time, so you could read stuff I was writing when I was like, 17, 18 years old. I've just kind of really gotten back into it. So yeah, hey, it's just something I'm kind of doing for fun right now. So if you want to see a little bit of what I'm doing outside of this YouTube thing, that is what I am doing. But then, with that said, let's talk about the main topic of the day. The main topic... Oh, hey, we got Dustin in here. Welcome, Dustin. You actually got here at the beginning of the show. We're about to talk about the first main topic today. So, welcome. And by the way, feel free to drop a like if you want. So, here's the thing. We are going... Our main topic involves if you are a third-party seller on Amazon. Now, here's the thing. Amazon has been a great way for a lot of people to make a little extra money during the pandemic. You sell things you don't need anymore. Maybe you start like a little online store. Now, I have had an Amazon online store for a while. I don't really shop at Amazon, but I don't mind making money off Amazon. And just to let you know, I've been doing not terrible. Like, my Amazon store had not been super active for a while, but just to give people an idea of what's going on, this is how much money I've made in the last month that's currently on balance. Now, I've framed this so that you can't see what my store name is. I'm sorry, because of trolls, I can't show you what my Amazon store name is. If you want to buy something from me and support me, go to www.greatmediauniverse.com. I sell all the same stuff there, and I'm my own boss there, so there's no fear of being, unfairly booted by a troll. But look, this is what I'm currently waiting for. And there's still I'm selling stuff on a near daily basis. Now, what I do is I just ship the stuff myself. I have a storage unit, and the storage unit has merchandise. So whether it's Great Media Universe, eBay, Mercari, Etsy, or Amazon, I keep stuff in my own storage, and I write it off on my taxes at the end of the year. Now, some people have joined with the Amazon Fulfillment Center plan, which is where Amazon will store that merchandise for you, and they will ship it on your behalf. Now, there are some pros to this, clearly. I mean, they take care of a lot of the work, and they deal with a lot of the behind-the-scenes drama. You just have to ship them the stuff, and it's like one less thing to worry about. One of the problems, though, is that Amazon, changes rules on storage, and sometimes if your stuff just sits there for years on end, eventually they will require the stuff be sent back at your cost, or they will destroy that stuff, and they will not reimburse you for that stuff that they destroyed. I think it's actually nonsense that they do that. I think they should be required to send back anything that is not sold at their cost, because they decided it wasn't valuable to them, not you. But hey, that's life. Now, here's the thing. If you are a fulfilled by Amazon seller on Amazon.com, you now have something new to worry about, because Amazon is setting new rules for sellers to prepare warehouses for the holiday season. And this, by the way, in case you've been reading headlines today about how Amazon's about to have like a, Boku holiday season, and a just a huge money-making holiday season than usual. That has a lot to do with this. So, Amazon is implementing new restrictions on third-party sellers that stock items in the tech giant's warehouse ahead of the holiday shopping season. The limits come after months of disruptions to Amazon's ordinarily seamless e-commerce business driven by the pandemic. Starting August 16th, Amazon will restrict the number of items sellers can stock in fulfillment centers to approximately 3 months' worth of inventory. The changes will be in place through the end of the year. Amazon says the majority of sellers will not be impacted by the change in a letter obtained by Business Insider. Now, why are they doing this? Well, they're doing this because basically Amazon is going to be stocking up on a lot of stuff this holiday season. They are anticipating this pandemic will still be ravaging the country. And to be honest, they're probably right. I mean, we've got a couple stories about the pandemic. I'm just going to throw out there, though, if people were wearing their masks and social distancing and not doing so many unnecessary things, maybe we'd have this under control. Maybe they also shouldn't be protesting during a pandemic, but, that's just me. So, yeah, because we are not doing things right, then yes, the pandemic will probably still be raging in Christmas. And when we're stuck at home, what do? We buy things online. Now, there's plenty of places you can buy things online. I recommend you buy things online from other places, or do the curbside pickup. But Amazon is basically saying that because they are anticipating more sales, they want to have more inventory, so they are going to start cutting back on inventory for the third-party sellers. And this is, by the way, one of the downsides of Fulfilled by Amazon. Because here's the thing, you're not truly Amazon's partner in this. Amazon uses third-party sellers for two reasons. First of all, to get out of print merchandise sold on their site, to collect fees that they don't have to really do much of, and, of course, to collect data on the sellers to know what is selling and what's not selling. So if ever there's a day comes where Amazon needs that space, you're not their partner. You don't get to say whether or not you get to keep the space that you've had for a while. It doesn't matter how much money you bring Amazon. If Amazon says, hey, we need that space for our stuff, they need that space for their stuff. Now, this is not going to affect me at all because I am not part of the Fulfilled by Amazon program. I typically don't recommend a lot of people do that unless they have something that is such a constant mover that they just need a little extra space. And, in those circumstances, maybe it's worth it. But then, of course, you're relying on Amazon an awful lot to handle your stuff and handle your business and handle your affairs. And they may one day decide, hey, you know what? We know you sell a lot of stuff and we know you're sending it, but hey, we need your space for our stuff now. And by the way, we've got the data, so we know that this stuff sells, so we'll be selling this stuff from now on. So, and we're going to sell it cheaper, by the way. So Amazon's just a terrible, terrible business partner to have. during any time. But what can I say? For a lot of people, it's worth it. Well, I should say this. For companies, it's worth it, but a lot of companies have found themselves screwed. I doubt too many of my viewers will be personally affected by this, but in case you're planning on starting an Amazon seller store and you might be considering entering Fulfilled by Amazon because of the perks that they offer, like, they highlight your item and stuff like that, keep in mind, Amazon controls their stock and everything, so be careful. And that's going to be the end of that topic. I would like to know what all of you think about this, so you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. By the way, before we continue, and hey Ryan, hey Naz, hey Joe, how you doing? Welcome. If you guys would give a thumbs up, that'd be great. One thing I should note, though, is I forgot to mention it. If you hear the humming in the background and you see me drinking a lot more of this than usual, it's because we are in a historic heat wave. And I could do something common sense like remove the beanie and stuff, but nah, I just have to do things difficult. So I'll probably be taking a few more sips of drink than usual, and we have the AC on, so I know that the slurping is obnoxious, but it's hot. I've actually got 2 buys here, just in case. So, anyway, Ryan asked, did you used to sell Walt Disney Treasures on Amazon or your online store when the sets were still in stores? Actually, yes, I did sell some of the Walt Disney Treasures, additional copies of Walt Disney Treasures on Amazon and eBay. I've sold the Walt Disney Treasure sets everywhere. Whenever I find them, as long as they're complete, I always buy them and I resell them. But I still have my main set that I will probably never sell unless things get really, really bad, which thankfully so far that does not appear to be the case. But anyway, with that said, let's move on to main topic number 2. And main topic number 2 is actually a little bit of a follow-up story to something we did on Friday. And it involves Amazon, of course, and it involves TikTok. Now, you might have remembered the story where we talked about it. Amazon sent out an email that was leaked to the public where Amazon demanded that any Amazon employee who was using a mobile phone to access their work email remove TikTok from their phone because of security risks. And those security risks, you may remember, involve that the TikTok app has been discovered to be copying information, browsing history, passwords, login names, and sending them to a server that we don't know where it is. Potentially in China because it is a Chinese-owned product. Now then, whether you work at Amazon or not, I strongly encourage you to remove TikTok from your phone. Apparently, TikTok on the browser is safe. That's not doing anything. But if you have the app is considered spyware at this point. And Amazon sent an email out to employees to say, you got to take this thing off the phone. Now, here's the thing. I talked about it, and I actually agreed with Amazon's stance on that. I mean, that is a huge security risk. But I wondered whether or not it was going too far, like, because Amazon's basically telling people what to do with their own phones at this point. And does Amazon have the right to do that? Well, apparently a lot of people had similar questions, and when pressed on the matter, Amazon changed their mind. They changed it pretty quickly. In fact, they said the email was a mistake and a misunderstanding. So let's look what's going on here. So Amazon sent an email to employees on Friday asking them to remove TikTok from their mobile devices by July 10th because of unspecified security risks, which I believe are true, by the way, according to an email obtained by CNBC. However, the company later told media that the email was sent in error and it's not actually changing its policy toward TikTok. Quote, if you have TikTok on your device, you must remove it by the 10th of July to retain mobile access to Amazon email, the email stated. At this time, using TikTok from your Amazon laptop browser is still allowed, which, by the way, I also commented that it was funny that basically because TikTok there's no practical reason for an employee to be using TikTok on company time. So they're basically like, yeah, look, if you're going to waste time on TikTok, don't do it on your phone because it's a security threat. But yeah, I guess if you want to waste time on the company's dime on the browser, that's perfectly fine. However, on Friday afternoon, an Amazon spokesperson told CNBC this morning's email to some of our employees was sent in error. There is no change to our policies right now with regard to TikTok. Now then, a TikTok spokesperson said to CNBC, while Amazon did not communicate to us before sending their email, and we still do not understand their concerns, really? I guess TikTok doesn't read the news. We welcome a dialogue so we can address any issues that may have and enable their team to continue participating in our community. We're proud that tens of millions of Americans turn to TikTok for entertainment, inspiration, and connection, including many of the Amazon employees and contractors who have been on the front lines of this pandemic. Now then, why did Amazon change face on this? Well, I think there's two likely reasons. One way more likely than the other. The first reason could be that TikTok is a very, very, very popular app. They've also got a lot of money because they're popular. And with this email leaking, maybe TikTok reached out to Amazon and threatened to sue them if they did not step back. Because here's the thing, you have to keep in mind, TikTok has denied everything about the claims that their app is spyware. They say that we do not do this. They say we have American servers. Heck, our CEO is Kevin Myers from Disney. We are an American company, but they're owned by the Chinese. And they do have Chinese servers, which they're not addressing. But the thing is, you can't prove it. Right now, the reason TikTok is in a bad state is because hackers have reverse engineered the app, and they have found the app doing some very strange and concerning things with information in history and passwords and things like that. But it has not been definitively proven in a court of law that TikTok is spyware or that there is a security threat. And even Donald Trump, mistakenly in my opinion, said that he has considered banning TikTok as revenge over the coronavirus pandemic. Not because the app might actually be dangerous for Americans to be using, which I already ranted about that in another video. So we won't go over that again here. So that's one reason, because it's like TikTok's basically in panic mode, and Amazon's got a lot of money. Heck, suing them and getting a settlement would be like a huge boon. So maybe TikTok reached out to Amazon because you kind of realistically have to first. And maybe Amazon realized what it looked like, even though that email was never meant for the public, and backtracked. That could be one reason. The more likely reason, I think, is that employees revolted because, again, even though they are accessing Amazon email on their personal phone, it's still their personal phone. They should be allowed to put whatever they want on it, and to have their employer coming to them and saying, like, we need you to remove TikTok from your phone, that's a little creepy, and it might be overstepping boundaries a little bit. I mean, it's already a gray area when someone is caught on camera doing something not nice, let's say, and then the company fires them for being caught on camera not doing anything nice. Look, that's reported all the time. What's not reported as often is that those people sue the companies because their personal life is their personal life. I mean, it is not a reflection of who they are when they come to work. And in fact, the only reason most people even find out that they work there is because someone with way too much free time on their hands on the internet starts looking through databases and stuff like that, and it's like a game to them. It's a game of detective, and they find that person, and then they contact them. And most of the time when these companies get sued, there's settlements really quickly because, technically speaking, if you're caught on camera doing something in your personal life, but you're not aware that you are being filmed, or maybe you are, but you're not representing your company at that time, it's really not the company's business for the most part. That's already a gray area. But now for Amazon to be coming to their their employees, and saying, hey, you have TikTok on your phone? You better let me add that, and you better take it off, or else we're going to... You see, it's extremely, extremely unsettling. I think that might be the far more likely reason. Basically, they just... Or maybe there is a little bit of both in that. I don't know. It could also be, there's a third option, I will admit, that, if Amazon tells employees to remove TikTok from their phone, well, TikTok, I believe, is still available on the Amazon App Store, and if they truly believe that, they would have to remove TikTok from their store, and who knows, until it's proven, maybe it's not worth giving up TikTok until it is solid proof, because again, it's one of the most downloaded apps out there. It's certainly more downloaded than Quibi is. So I don't know. This is a very interesting one for me. I didn't think Amazon would back down on this so fast. So I'd like to know, what do you think the reason is they back down? Maybe, is it one of these three reasons, or maybe you have your own theory about what's going on and why Amazon removed TikTok, or why they reverse course on removing TikTok from their employees' phones. I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Now then, hey Ryan, so were you surprised that Kevin Mayer left Disney for TikTok? No, I wasn't surprised at all, to be perfectly honest. I wasn't surprised because Kevin Mayer was he was hoping to get the CEO job at Disney, and he didn't get it. So, as a result, he walked. So, anyway, let me take another sip real quick. And now, let's talk about main topic number 3. And our third main topic, this was going to be a quick one, but it might be worth mentioning because a lot of my viewers are users of the stock trading app Robinhood. And I am one of those users, by the way. And, let me make sure. Is everything still fine? Sorry, folks. Let me check some. Okay. For some reason, my thing popped up. Anyway, a lot of you are users of Robinhood. I am too. If you aren't a user of Robinhood and you want to get into stock trading, there's a free link below where you and I will get a free stock, and it could be a Microsoft or a Facebook. I have to throw that out. But Robinhood's been in a lot of controversy recently. From that kid who thought that he had blown $1 million, who unfortunately ended his own life, to a bunch of people pouring hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars into penny stocks only to lose it all. A bunch of people doing things unwise with their money. Basically, you have to really be careful with Robinhood. I mean, there's investing and there's gambling, and what most people are doing with Robinhood are gambling, but that's not really the point. The point is, it is getting popular, and in fact, its company is now worth $8.6 billion after a funding round raised it to $320 million. These are the founders, by the way. So, retail investors aren't the only ones pushing cash into Robinhood through the coronavirus pandemic. The popular discount brokerage boosted its Series F funding round with an additional $320 million in closings, according to a Monday statement, bringing its post-money valuation to $8.6 billion. The funding comes from new and existing investors, including TSG, Consumer Partnership, and IVP. Robinhood's Series F round was first announced on May 4th. Sequoia Capital led the $280 million round alongside NEA, Ribbit Capital, and Unusual Ventures. The release touted the more than 3 million new Robinhood accounts created in the year to date, and the fact that half of its new users in 2020 were first-time investors. Quote, amid challenging times and market validity, we're humbled that people are turning to Robinhood to participate in the markets and build their financial future, the brokerage said in its May release. Now then, this is very, very good news for Robinhood. It means people are clearly, they're clearly sold on the idea. They clearly like it, and a lot of people are using it. Using it. I use it almost every day. I don't buy every day, but you know what I'm saying. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, what's also nice about this is that there was some concerns about Robinhood's financial future. Would they be able to stick around? And admittingly, that might still be a little bit of a concern, but this is now what they're worth. I would not be too surprised if Robinhood actually went public sometime soon, because a lot of people are using it. It's the right time to go public, I think. A lot of people would invest in Robinhood. Who knows? Robinhood could be like this huge stock, in the first few days of trading. I don't know. It would probably then turn into a normal trading thing. I don't know. But anyway, Robinhood is clearly leaving its mark, and for daytime investors, that might be a good thing. I don't know. I certainly enjoy using the app, though, but I would like to know, what do you think? Do you use the app? Do you think Robinhood's going to be around for a long time? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. And now, let's talk about main topic number 4. And obviously, main topic number 4, I have to stress, is going to be touchy. There's going to be mask discussions ahead. So for those of you who are offended by that, I apologize. But I found this story really interesting. Now then, obviously the pandemic is getting worse, and there are a lot of reasons why it's getting worse. I think the main one, people are out doing things that they don't need to be doing, socializing in large groups, and not wearing masks. That's what I believe anyway. I also don't think people are putting a lot of distance between one another, but So I think the protests probably contributed to most of the spikes currently, but the fact of the matter is people still have to go to work. They still have to go to stores to get things. They can't just have everything delivered. Delivery adds 15 to 20% onto the order. Like, some people can't afford to do that forever. And, well, we have shown, even on this channel, some videos of people getting into employees' faces or other customers' faces because they don't want to wear a mask. Now, these videos have caused two things to happen. First of all, it creates a little bit of divide, I will admit. People who think you should wear the mask look at these videos and they see, particularly the Costco ones, I forgot to mention, we're talking about Costco videos, and they applaud the managers and the employees for basically kicking people out of their stores for not wearing a mask, and the people who don't want to wear masks get annoyed by those videos because they think that those customers are being harassed. So, I mean, it is what it is. I wish it wasn't this way. I guess it was. But here's what the videos do prove to the people who, are pro-mask and want to feel safe. They find that they feel much safer shopping at Costco and Trader Joe's, because in both these companies' cases, it has been shown publicly that, if you break the rules, if you harass people, you will be thrown out of their stores for not following the mask rule. And a lot of people just love it. It's like, I want to feel safe going to a store. That's where I'm going to go. And in fact, it has made such a difference. I saw this and I said at one point other retailers are going to have to mimic Costco and Trader Joe's, because Costco and Trader Joe's have made a commitment to keep their customers safe. Whether you think it's not wearing a mask is a threat or not is really besides the point. The bottom line is they've made a rule, they're enforcing the rule, and they don't care if you see that they're enforcing the rule. If you, say, cancel my membership because I don't want to shop somewhere where I have to wear a mask, Costco will take that card, they will cut it up, and they will say, go home. Oh, and by the way, one of those videos that we showed where the guy who was thought he was hot stuff, once the guy took away his cart, he's like, wait, no, I'm sorry, I'll put the mask back on. And he's like, no, your service business is no longer welcome here. That's what happens. And they have received glowing praise for how they've handled it. And now Walmart of all, is actually hiring what they call health ambassadors, which, that's an interesting way to word it, but I knew this was coming. So let's look at this article, and this video has been starting and closing all the time. So if you start hearing a noise, I'm sorry about that. But Walmart is adding health ambassadors to the front of select stores nationwide to remind customers of state and local coronavirus. See, this is what I hate these sites that are where they really force the video on you. But anyway, the nation's largest retailer currently requires associates but not customers to wear masks. Louisiana joined more than 20 other states Saturday in requiring residents to wear a face mask in public. As they state, our COVID-19 protocols have continued to adapt during the pandemic in response to evolving research and mandates spanning the country, a spokesperson for Walmart told Fox Business. Additional safety changes took effect July 9th to expand our efforts in reminding customers of the importance and necessity of wearing face coverings in our stores. In a press filing briefing on Friday, Albany County Executive Dan McCoy expressed his frustration at Walmart for a lack of enforcement of the mask policy during a recent visit to a local Walmart. He also questioned why America's largest retailer didn't implement the health ambassadors sooner. Well, let me tell you why they didn't implement it sooner. Because the one thing you do not want to fear, you don't want to feel this, is that you will lose a lot of business because you don't want to wear a mask. Now, of course, I'm speaking personal opinion, of course. People in the chat have been disagreeing with me on this for a while. That's fine. I mean, I wish they didn't disagree, but whatever. I feel that more people are okay with wearing the mask than people who aren't. I do. I think there's more people with common sense out there than there are without common sense. That said, people who lack common sense still make up a pretty good majority of Americans. And this is true. You all know there are people who do not have common sense. And so if they are that outspoken about not shopping at you, at your establishment, if you require them to wear a mask, they won't do it. And so the fear of losing that business is what has delayed this ambassador program. But what's turning around is this, because Trader Joe's and Costco have gotten much more popular. Because here's the thing, the people who want to wear the masks and keep one another safe and keep themselves safe are far greater than the people who have that attitude of, well, we're all going to get it anyway, so who cares? Never mind that, it's only going to wipe off like 1% of the world, which that 1% of the world population is very big, so I don't know why you're okay with that. So that's what delayed this implementation. But what's causing Walmart to roll it out is because of the rising sales at Costco and Trader Joe's. Now, it should be noted that it was stated in this article that it was at select locations only right now. And the reasons at select locations is because they want to test it out and they want to see exactly how they can implement it and if they even lose any sales. And once they see that they are not losing sales, but in fact people are feeling more safe going there, then I think this will expand nationwide. Now then, McCoy continued, they've been open for the whole 18 weeks. You have closed mom and pop businesses that could have stayed open through this whole crisis and could have done the right thing and weren't allowed to because what? They weren't smart enough? They weren't healthy enough? But the fact that we're still talking about Walmart and Target and Sam's Club and it's 18 weeks into it and now they're going to do this? Where were they 18 weeks ago? Making profits when the little stores, the backbone of our community, were struggling. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what that has to do with anything, to be perfectly honest. I know it's not fair, but Walmart, Target, and Sam's Club, their concern is not the small businesses. It's a shame that the small businesses are not equipped to help to stay open during a pandemic. That is a real shame, and we need to do something to help those businesses. They got a raw deal in all of this. Some major companies also got a raw deal. Like, for example, GameStop. You still can't go into a GameStop store. It's too small. There's no way to social distance in there. You just can't. Now, McCoy gave the company a sarcastic thumbs up for doing the right thing. He said, I just find it ironic. I can't even comment anymore on it when they bring it up because it's not even laughable. The fact that, they're going to do all this stuff 18 weeks later, thanks, Walmart. Thanks for rolling up your sleeves and doing the right thing. Now, I agree with his frustration. Again, though, people who don't want to wear masks, yeah, it's like maybe 10%, 15% at tops of the nation. It really isn't as many as people want to think there are, but that 10 to 15% is still a lot of money on the table, and they didn't want to scare those customers off. But there's two reasons why they're doing it now, though. First of all, again, they're seeing the fruits of the labor of Costco and Trader Joe's. But here's the other reason. It's because, frankly, people aren't being very smart about this. Oh, let me scroll up a little bit. Like, here's from the Pirates and Princesses blog. Disney YouTubers admit to being super sick while roaming Walt Disney World. Now, this one's kind of terrifying, actually. Because here's the thing. Disney World, for those of you who are not aware, has reopened. Now, it's funny because Hong Kong Disney, I believe, is shutting down again because they have 56 new cases, while Disney World is reopening with 156 new cases, or 15,000 new cases, something like that. Not going to say whether that's right or wrong, just pointing out the numbers. So, but Disney is doing what they can to be super safe. They are taking temperatures. They are asking if you have any symptoms. They're telling you to stay home. But here's the thing. And they're sanitizing everything, all that jazz. But even Disney is not able to control people who want to do stupid things. Like I said, there's people without common sense. And look, considering we're in a pandemic, I don't care what you think your condition is. If you're feeling sick of any kind, stay the heck home. Just stay home. You don't need to go to Disney World. But this is concerning. So, despite Walt Disney World's best efforts to keep guests safe during the pandemic, some Disney vloggers are admitting on camera that they're roaming the parks while ill. The vloggers from the channel That Crazy Disney Lady live streamed from Magic Kingdom on opening day and complained on air about being super sick. The video currently has significantly more downvotes than upvotes on YouTube. For the record, I did check out this video, and she has since disabled the thumbs up and thumbs down as well as the comments. So there you go. And has made no apology for going to Disney World while sick. Now here's what's scary. What's worse is that Disney knew full well they were ill as the vloggers went to the first aid station complaining of flu-like symptoms and vomiting. A Disney nurse reportedly asked them to go to the hospital, but Disney did not ask them to leave the park. How do you think that looks on Disney? If you want to, hey, I feel safe, I want to go to Disneyland, you should have the right to go to Disneyland or Disney World in this case, if you are following all the rules. And now you find out that Disney is letting people with flu-like symptoms into the park, and they admit it, and they won't, like this is why Walmart is starting to go in this direction, because clearly you need a health ambassador. Now really, it's a bouncer, let's face it, these are all bouncers. But you have people like this who just won't play the rules. So let's see. So this is just crazy. By the way, this is also what Disney World looked like in you can see the social distancing going on, right? And by the way, the cast members who took photos of these crowds and a long line at the Seven Dwarfs minecart ride where people weren't social distancing, they got fired by Disney. Now, admittingly, as someone who's worked at Disney, I do know that as a cast member, you're not supposed to take pictures of the guests. You're not supposed to be sharing this information, but they're just pointing out how things are not being done. I mean, just look at this. Just look at this. This is why the pandemic's just going to get worse and worse. Like I keep wondering in my head, like, what number do you have to get to before people realize how serious this is? So, and anyway, I think I laugh a little bit at the health ambassador program at Walmart. The reality is it's just going to be something that's needed. Costco and Trader Joe's have proven that, people will shop there and they will not hurt your sales if you enforce the mask rules. And as Disney's pointed out, people will sneak in even if they have flu-like symptoms because they just want to go to the park. At some point, the companies are just going to have to take safety more seriously, because here's the thing. Yeah, you want to open the economy. I understand that. But you have to do it smartly, because if you just open it willy-nilly and you don't enforce any rules and you don't tell people you can't come in unless you're doing this, and hey, if you're feeling like this, you need to go home right now and you're not being let in, unless you start doing that, it's not going to get any better. But I'm going to end on that one. I know my viewers have a lot to say about this one. So I would love to know what you think, though. And remember, be nice to everyone. We all have different opinions on this. But what do you think of Walmart basically having a mask bouncer in all of this? And do you think other companies are going to follow suit? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. And I need something to drink. So, 1 second. That stuff is really good. It's really good. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about main topic number 5. And our 5th main topic, we're actually talking about Walmart again. But this is something different because a few days ago, Walmart announced a new subscription service that was going to compete with Amazon Prime. Because here's one of the reasons that Amazon actually controls the world. They have Amazon Prime. And by the way, Amazon Prime is not always the great deal it makes it sound out to be. It's like, oh, you get free second day shipping with Amazon Prime, and you get free Prime Video, free Prime Music, and free Prime Kindle books. And as years go by, they've started reducing from that membership more and more. You can't just read all the Kindle books you want. Now it's like limited to one a month. You get like a basic music subscription service with the Prime Music, but you have to pay extra if you want unlimited and you want to not have any ads. As for Prime Video, it's still there, but they've been considering removing Prime Video as something that you get with your Prime membership. And of course, prices will go up. But what it does for Amazon is you are much more likely to buy things from Amazon than other places if you're going to have free shipping. Now, this video is primarily going to talk about why you don't need Prime, but we're going to launch it on this discussion because Walmart is launching their own Prime service. So, according to an article on Recode this week, the retail giant Walmart is about to unveil a new subscription service called Walmart Plus that will offer similar benefits to Amazon Prime. Costing $98 a year, which is, I think, $30 less than Amazon Prime a year, Walmart Plus will be a significant step up from Delivery Unlimited, its existing same-day grocery delivery service. The new loyalty program is expected to feature free same-day delivery of groceries and general merchandise, discounts on fuel, early access to product deals, and other perks such as reserved delivery slots. The move may be the most important step yet in Walmart's multi-year initiative to enhance its e-commerce capabilities, making online retail a growth engine for the company and protect its market share from Amazon. Now, here's the interesting thing about this story is when you start hearing stories like this and how Walmart and Costco and these other companies are beefing up their online presence. Look, with all due respect, why weren't they beefing them up for the last 20 years? The internet has been around for a long time. Like, why is e-commerce just now becoming like this big thing for a lot of these players? I don't know. And here's the thing. Since 2017, Walmart's U.S. e-commerce sales have grown by about 40% annually, boosted by its recently enacted guarantee of one-day delivery without a membership and the expansion of its online grocery pickup and delivery programs. Its e-commerce sales have boomed further during the COVID-19 pandemic, rising 74% in Walmart's fiscal first quarter, which ended May 1st, making this an appealing time to launch an e-commerce focused subscription service. Now, of course, here's the advantage Walmart has over Amazon, their brick and mortar stores. Because Walmart has more than 4,000 stores across the United States and claims to have locations within 10 miles of 90% of the U.S. population. For years, those stores were something of an albatross in Walmart's battle with Amazon as the company refused to invest significant resources in e-commerce because it didn't want to lose in-store customer traffic, which was more profitable. In the early years, it simply didn't take the e-commerce threat seriously. However, Walmart's come to realize that the best way to use its store base is to support its e-commerce operations with programs like online grocery pickup, which has been highly popular. So, yeah, here's the thing. Walmart's going to have this new subscription service. You're going to get the same day delivery or the next day, and you will get extra bonuses, discounts, and of course they can leverage the retail stores that they do have. Now, not only is this a much better alternative to Amazon Prime, I believe, there are other services. Like, for example, this one's not talked about too much, but Barnes & Noble has a membership. And if you're buying books and movies and CDs, first of all, barnesandnoble.com, which is bn.com as well, they sell all this stuff at Amazon prices. But here's the thing. For $25 a year, you can buy this merchandise and get free expedited shipping for just $25 a year. And the $25 a year also gets you like a 20% off sign-up bonus. You get 40% off hardcover bestsellers in the store. You get 10% off when you go to the stores. You have early access sales. You have a birthday offer. You get special coupons. You have deals on the Nook. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just saying, like, when I discovered this, like, I buy most of my movies from Barnes & Noble now because they're the same price online as they are for Amazon. And I still get the free shipping. And I don't have to buy it from Amazon. And if you're like an anime nut like me, you've also got like Right Stuff for $18 a year. You get like an additional 10% off all your purchases. And this site gives crazy good sales all the time and free shipping on more than $50 purchases. And I have gotten hundreds of dollars off anime. So the funny thing about Amazon Prime is that it's acted like it's the be-all, end-all of delivery service. Like people like, oh, I'll get an Amazon Prime, I'll just buy everything from Amazon. But there's other sites out there that offer similar programs for far less money, and you get the same Amazon prices. And I don't understand why people stay with Prime except out of simple convenience. Like, hey, we've been using it for so long, why would we switch at any point? But as I just showed you, there are options out there. Walmart's going to be one of them. Then you have Barnes & Noble and Right Stuff. I believe Best Buy has a program. There's just a lot of companies that are offering free expedite shipping if you get a member service, and their member services are usually way cheaper than Amazon's is. So, hey, I'm just throwing that out there, all right? But anyway, I would like to know, what do you guys think about Walmart's entering into the Prime arena? Do you think they're going to do very well? Do you think Amazon's got some real competition? Would you consider going to one of these other subscription services now that you're aware that they exist? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Now then, let me check this. Cinema Fan 324 says, are you still doing any gig economy apps or doing YouTube full time? I do Postmates once in a while. I do Postmates. I don't know if that's going to last much longer with Uber Eats, buying them out. But I do YouTube quite a bit, and I also do my blogging and stuff like that. By the way, I see you've got 17 people live streaming. Thank you for joining us. If you want, please give us a thumbs up. That would be really helpful. So anyway, we actually have one more topic before we get to all of these comments. And this is actually a warning to Disney annual pass holders who have eBay accounts. This is a warning. Now, I'm going to share like a little story. Oh, no, actually, I won't share that story. I'll wait till later. But as Disney World reopens, we talked previously on this show about how Disney is retheming Splash Mountain. They're going to turn it into a Princess and the Frog ride. Now, I don't like the reasons why they decided to retheme Splash Mountain, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, and the concept art looks pretty cool. Now, personally, I don't think Splash Mountain's going to get changed anytime soon. One of the things I noticed about that announcement, there was no date given, and because of just how much money Disney's losing, it might be a few years before they actually get around to doing it. Because it's not like Splash Mountain is necessarily losing foot traffic. Splash Mountain is one of the most popular rides out there. But one of the theories on why Disney might be switching to the Prince and the Frog is because they're much more comfortable selling a Princess Tiana doll than a Brer Rabbit or a Brer Fox doll or Brer Bear. Now, here's the thing. When Disney World reopened, annual pass holders were actually buying those dolls in bags. They were buying, like, you saw pictures of them. People, in fact, let me see if I can't find on Twitter. I probably should have pulled this up before we Splash Mountain dolls. It's like, but there were pictures of people just with bags and bags of these dolls. I'm trying to see if I can't find a picture of the people. I can't find. That's the problem with Twitter. It moves so fast. But if you want to know what the dolls look like, this is what they look like. You have Bear Rabbit. I like the sign right there. And Brer Bear. Look, hey, they even have Song of the South Funko Toys 30th anniversary. That's interesting. So, but anyway, and I really do need to probably for the replay, I'll put the picture up so that you can see exactly what's going on. But anyway, people were buying a lot of these dolls because they're afraid that Splash Mountain is going to actually go away, and it still might. And here's the thing: in theory, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you buy a bunch of dolls, that's fine. Heck, in theory, if you want to stock up on them for selling way down the line, yeah, maybe in theory there's nothing wrong with that. However, giving annual pass holders with an eBay account, your annual pass could be revoked for selling Splash Mountain merchandise. So, here's the story. Since the news broke that Splash Mountain was set to be changed in both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom to be themed to the Prince and the Frog, fans have been very quick to buy up all of the merchandise related to the attraction. While there was nothing wrong with this in theory, it became very apparent that many fans during AP Preview Day, which means just annual pass holders were there, not regular guests, were simply buying many of the items in the store in bulk. And here's the thing. Selling the... Here's something that is in your terms of service when you sign up for an annual pass holder. Benefits and discounts are for personal use only and may not be used for any commercial purpose, including, without limitation, to obtain or purchase items or services with the intent to resell such items or services. Disney also states in the pass holder contract, the company reserves the right to cancel, suspend, or revoke any passport or deny any theme park admission to any pass holder at any time for any reason. We're hearing reports that Disney has already been revoking passes and is prepared to continue doing this if guests continue to break the rules. And then they add, of course, none of this would be an issue if Shop Disney had a regular stock of these Splash Mountain items on the online store, which apparently they don't. The other issue is that Disney hasn't announced a closing date for Splash Mountain as of yet, which has led to people buying up all of the stock with the fear that the attraction was closing soon. Now they add, we think the likelihood of Splash Mountain closing before the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World in 2021 is very slim, though it isn't out of the realms of possibility given the attendance in the park is likely to be limited for quite some time. So, here's the thing. Let's go back over here. If you are someone who is seeing a buying opportunity with these Splash Mountain dolls and merchandise, and you have an eBay account, and you want to sell this stuff, if you're an annual pass holder, there is a very, very, very easy way to get around this. Very easy way to get around this. Don't use your annual passport to get the 10% discount or the 15% discount, whichever one it is. Pay full price for it. Don't use your annual pass discount, because if Disney tracks that, they will flag it, and they will flag your account. They will see if there is a eBay store connected, which they have ways of doing. And they will terminate your annual pass holder. In fact, share a story. When I worked at Disney, I remember one day I was talking on the break about, my eBay store and everything, and my Amazon store. And I was talking about how I went to thrift stores and stuff, and I bought merchandise at a low price, and then I resold it at a huge price. Well, some Disney cast member, and I know who it is, and I clearly did not talk to her ever again, but she heard that, she wanted to make a name for herself, and she ratted me out to my bosses, and my bosses went to my eBay store to inspect it to make sure I wasn't buying Disney merchandise and selling at a profit. Surprise, surprise, I wasn't. I was following the rules. But that left a pretty sour taste in my mouth. But Disney is very protective of this stuff. It's they do not want you buying stuff at a discount and then selling it for a profit. They want that money. So just be careful out there, guys. Okay, personally, I don't know why you'd be paying $1,000 for an annual pass at this point, especially since you're only getting a third of the experience now. But that said, you clearly want it, so you don't want to get it revoked. So if you have an eBay store, don't be selling merchandise that you buy at the parks on your site. And if you're going to buy it in bulk, don't use your annual pass to get the discount. I know it's tempting, but they will find you and they will track you down. But anyway, I would like to know what you think about this. Do you think that Disney has a right to track you down and stop you from doing this, or do you think they're overstepping their bounds a little bit? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. And with that out of the way, well, it's time to tackle the comment section. We've almost been going an hour already, but hey, we can go an additional 20 minutes if need be. So, we have the single comments from Tommy and Joe. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? And, Joe did have another comment in there. And we have Naz, the gig accountant. How you doing, Naz? Yeah, Dustin, and keep in mind that figure that I showed on Amazon, that's just Amazon. I've also got eBay, I've also got Mercari, and there are similar numbers on those accounts. So, it's not just one site. When it comes to e-commerce, never put your eggs in one basket. Never do that. Okay. Ryan says, are you aware of the inside of Walt Disney Archives exhibit that is currently at Bowers Museum? I was wondering if you were planning on visiting it while it's still there, since it should be near you. I was aware of it, but I can't go. Actually, we really can't go because California, Governor Newsom just pretty much said they're closing all indoor activities again, with very few exceptions. So museums, bars, restaurants, you can't go inside anymore because, people aren't being safe out there and the cases are rising. So there you go. Let's see here. What else? Ryan says, I was aware of that. Apparently the Splash Mountain gift shop had the longest line in the entire resort. Yeah, well, it's because people are afraid that they will not have the chance to get that merchandise. So there you go. Now, Ryan asks, were you ever an Amazon Prime member at any point of your life? Well, yes, of course. I think everybody was at one point. When I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I had an Amazon Prime account. It was like $50 a year, and I bought everything on Amazon. And then, as I started to read more and more about Amazon, and then, of course, I had my own personal problems where Amazon started suspending my seller accounts over arbitrary reasons, I fell very much out of love from Amazon, to the point where at one point I didn't go to the site for like 5 or 6 years. I really didn't. Now I have a wife who has no issue with Amazon, so I'm on it a little bit more. But I still try to make it a point not to buy from Amazon. But yes, and through her now, I guess I have an Amazon Prime account again. But I almost never use it. I think I bought like a bunch of Blu-ray thin packs at one point because they were the only place that sold them. But for the most part, I still try to steer clear of that. But yes, I did have a membership at one point. All right. Let's see here. Cinema Fan, how do you keep track of earnings through multiple streams of incomes? Speaking for someone who has to pay taxes and pay at the end of the year. That's a good question, and that might be worth its own video. Actually, probably should be its own video. However, to give you a little bit of a preview, though, it involves a lot of work. I have folders where I keep receipts. I have spreadsheets where I keep track of the income, credit card statements. You just have to keep strong records of all of your earnings and stuff like that. Also, in most cases, you will get 1099s or earning reports at the end of the year from YouTube, Amazon, eBay, all these places. And you can use that for your tax season. But there are multiple ways to keep track of your income, but Excel is your friend if you have multiple incomes and multiple expenses. Excel is definitely your friend. So, let's see here. I hope so much that's still there whenever I get to go to California. I don't think Splash Mountain's going anywhere for a while. They don't have the money to retheme it just yet. Let's see here. I know that you aren't a Disneyland pass holder anymore, but will you buy any Splash Mountain merchandise if you see it at Downtown Disney? I'm not sure if you visit it frequently or not, to be honest. I'm not going to Disney for a while. I mean, people are not... I do not trust Disney fans to be safe, with all due respect. There are so many Disney fans that don't follow the rules, but I'm just not going there, right? But if it was in the store, yeah, I probably would. It's especially since it's a novelty right now, but I have to be honest, I think I've only got a few Splash Mountain pins. It's not like I was like a huge... buyer of Splash Mountain merchandise before this all happened. So, Cinema Fan asks, what's the best way to support you, and is there a difference between becoming a member on YouTube or Patreon or on Patreon? Well, first of all, Cinema Fan, thank you for your support. The best way to support me is to watch my videos, share them, and give them likes, and subscribe, of course. Those are actually the best ways you can subscribe. However, if you want to go a step further and become a YouTube member or Patreon member, there's really only one difference between the two. If you become a YouTube member, in fact, you can even see it in the chat. You see how Ryan has that little badge right there? If you're a YouTube member, you get a badge that you get to display that shows that you are a member of this channel. And if you are a Patreon supporter, you get exclusive access to my Patreon blog, which YouTube members do not have access to. Frankly, I don't update that blog very often, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. In both cases, though, you do get an invitation to to join our private Discord server, and I check it. I try to check it on a daily basis. There's admittedly not a lot of action there, but we'll get more action as more people become members. And those are the ways you can support. And I definitely appreciate all the support. But again, the best way to support is liking the videos, sharing them, and subscribing, and of course watching them. But by a way far, that is the best way to support. I will mention, though, however, both in the case of the YouTube and the Patreon members, you do get exclusive videos that do not show up to the general public for months, if ever. So, you know, there are perks for becoming members. Now, Ryan says, do you think that Splash Mountain merchandise will still be produced until the ride closes, or do you think that there will be no more once the current stock is on? Oh, they'll keep producing it. They'll keep producing it because clearly it's selling right now. And Disney needs the money. And here's the thing. Look, they're going to talk a game like they want to retheme and they want to get away from this. But I bet you someone at Disney was reading how much Splash Mountain merchandise was selling for. And they need the money right now. So, hey, they're gonna make more of it. And they will make more of it until the ride closes. And then that will be that. So anyway, and that is where we catch up with everything. So thank you. Now that we have caught up, we will be ending today's show. Thank you once again for joining me. Remember, if you are just joining us, we will be splitting up all but the main topic of this video into separate videos starting tomorrow. So please tune in. Subscribe to this channel. Also, don't forget, I have other channels out there. I have the Failed Journalist, and I have the Apptrepreneur Vlogs and Autograph Hound. So check out those channels. All the links are below. You can sign up to them, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. Actually, I will not see you tomorrow. Something's going on tomorrow. I will see you Wednesday with a new episode of the Apptrepreneur Show. Have a good one.